Hello, hello. This is Tasha, and welcome to video number one in the financial stability series. Over the course of these three videos, my goal is to help you uncover the definition of financial stability, which is going to be different for each person, and create next steps to achieving it. So, first, let's look at who this video series is for. It's for single women who have a degree or possibly an advanced degree, women who struggle with creating sustainable financial stability, and women who feel their life's purpose is within reach, but they just can't over the finish line. So, you know you're in the right place if this sounds like you. Do you feel your finances are out of control? You pay your bills mostly on time, but you can't seem to get ahead. Do you make quote unquote good money, but putting some of it away in savings is still difficult? In the past, have you sabotaged your budgeting efforts by purchasing items you knew you couldn't afford, or even made purchases you didn't need? I know I've definitely done that. Do you feel like the life that you want is moving forward and you're still stuck in place? Have you changed jobs multiple times over the past 5 to 10 years, seeking a bigger paycheck each time? Have you felt that something must be wrong with you because you can't seem to get your shit together? I don't know how many times I've said that to myself. Get your shit together. Are you jealous of friends who really seem to have it all figured out? They own homes, they own businesses, everything seems to be going right for them. And do you dream of living in ease and not just struggling to make ends meet? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then you're definitely in the right place. Uh, Before we get started, I want to introduce myself. My name is Tasha Walters, and I coach professional single women struggling with self doubt and money management skills on how to achieve financial freedom and live their life's purpose confidently. And so, for me, helping single women achieve a high level of satisfaction in their life is that's my purpose because I love guiding women step by step towards achieving that money and time freedom that many of us long for. So, one thing that I know for sure, uh, the one thing that is preventing you from living your life's purpose is financial stability. Because think about how much you could achieve if you knew that all your bills were going to be paid on time each month. How much could you achieve if you knew that there was more than enough disposable income uh, for you to do the things that you love most? Maybe you want to volunteer your time to your favorite charity or a nonprofit, or simply make a large donation to the local animal shelter or a local no-kill animal shelter. How great would it be if you could just take a dream vacation without worrying about how it was going to be paid for, uh, and even being able to comfortably follow your goal of owning your own home, that dream home that you have created that Pinterest board. Well, this is how the bedroom's going to look, and then the kitchen, and that's definitely something that I have on my Pinterest board. So I know that we can achieve all these goals and more as long as we can get to a point of financial stability and ease. I know that it's possible for us, and it's even possible for us on one income. So, my promise to you over the next three videos is that I'll help you identify the exact blocks preventing you from sustaining financial stability. I'll help you unlock your unconscious programming, the programming that's sabotaging your efforts thus far. I'll help you understand the impact of your automatic programming, learn once and for all where it all started, and help you come up with steps that'll bring you closer to achieving that financial stability you're looking for. But before we jump into the content, I want you to know that there is nothing being sold at the end of this series. I've been on enough of these, webinars and these video series, and so I know that typically what happens is you get to the end and then someone pitches you something. Of course, a coaching opportunity, whatever the case is. That's not the case here. I simply want you to remain open to this process in your ability to experience a shift. That's it. So, if you're okay with that, I'd say let's get started. So, I'm a bit of a nerd in the fact that I love data, I love facts. And so, one of the big facts that I recently learned was that in 2010, 53.1% of unmarried US residents 18 and older were women. By 2016, that number had only shifted slightly to 53.2%. And so, what this tells me is that um, by 2016, the entire unmarried population was 110 million people. And of that number, 53.2% of them were women. I mean, that's an insane number to even think about. The more things have changed economically in our country or even globally, the more they stay the same. Women consistently, single women specifically, are more than 50% of the population. And so, as much as society wants us to think that, what single women need is to get married, find a man, get married, and have kids, or have kids and get married, whatever, whichever order. What women really are looking for, single women are looking for, is financial ease and stability. In the book Committed by one of my favorite authors, Elizabeth Gilbert, she mentions that extensive research had been done in nursing homes in the US. And that was the one thing that researchers found was that the elderly women there, the ones that were miserable, they were miserable because of their poverty. They were living in with very low income coming in from Social Security or a pension, maybe, and they were in poor health. They weren't miserable because they didn't have children visiting or grandchildren visiting. They weren't miserable because their spouse or their partner had died ahead of them and now they're just lonely. No, they were miserable because of their financial situation and their health situation. So, if you're watching this video, you would probably not be considered elderly. Okay. But I think that what we can agree on is that lack of financial stability and poor health, no matter what age, can make you miserable. Living paycheck to paycheck and being overweight or having some other health issue could make you miserable. Um, Going to the same soul sucking job day in and day out, knowing you're being underpaid, but you're too afraid to ask for that pay increase that you deserve, but you're just too afraid to ask for it. You're especially hating your job if you're you know not being paid what you feel as though you're worth. Forget about the fact that it's definitely a soul sucking job. It's even more of a soul sucking job when you're being underpaid. And so the stress and anxiety of not knowing how you're going to pay your bills can make you miserable. We already know as intelligent, strong women the impact of stress and anxiety on our bodies. We know that it increases your blood pressure. We know that it increases that stress hormone cortisol. And that can then cause an increase in blood sugar and an increase in bad cholesterol and an increase in weight, specifically belly fat. We know all of this information, but what about the impact on our emotional health? What damage are we doing to ourselves? Do you find yourself being irritable during the workday? Or maybe you're increasing your caffeine intake because you didn't sleep very well the night before. And so, because of that poor night's sleep, you're now drinking more coffee during the day, which is making you irritable. It's making you jittery. What about just having a general lack of a desire to not just be of service to your family, but also to your community, but yet you long to be able to take advantage of volunteering opportunities? Maybe you have a lack of a desire to really do much with your self-care beyond the basic, like take a shower, wash your hair, um, throw in a little lip balm, a little lip shine, and some moisturizer, which already has the sunscreen in it. Like beyond that, I know that there were months, if not years, when that was it. Put on some deodorant, clean clothes, and walk out the door. And the joke would be, you know what, look, folks, I would say to my girlfriends, I've got on clean clothes, I showered today, and, my hair is done. Like, jokingly, like, don't expect much more out of me. Okay. How about just overeating because you're just shoving down those feelings, the feelings that we haven't quite identified. You're not sure why you're angry, you're just angry. You're not sure why you have this anxiety, where it's coming from, what's causing it, but you know it's there. And so the best way to deal with it, I'm just going to eat something else. What else can I eat? I want something sweet. I want something salty. Are you creating uh, food issues? All of this emotional stress and anxiety. There are impacts on our life that we may not be addressing. So here's the thing: we can make changes now. Yes, I know that before I said the more things change, the more they stay the same. But I'm now saying they don't have to stay the same. We can make changes and we can make them now. We no longer have to stick with the same programming, the same messages that we've been hearing our whole lives. We can make positive changes now. So, and what that means further is we don't have to go into our golden years miserable. We can improve our financial health, and that would then improve our physical health, right? We know that it's going to take extra money to do so. So let's not pretend that it's not. Um, and but we can make that change. So if it's a choice between purchasing a home in an area where you know you'll feel safe, you'll be able to get out around your neighborhood and go for a walk or go for a run, or maybe you want to purchase a home near a park with walking and hiking trails. It's going to take extra money to do that. It's going to take extra money to buy the nicer home in the nicer neighborhood. It's going to take extra money to hire a personal trainer, someone that will hold you accountable and help you achieve the fitness goals that you have. It's going to take extra money to hire that nutrition coach, that person that's going to say, you know what? Let's focus on your macronutrients, and someone that will help you create a plan that will sustain you and also improve your health. It's going to take extra money to purchase fresh and organic foods because we all know that if it's a choice between purchasing, um, uh, organic food, organic produce specifically, and non-organic produce, you're probably going to be looking at the price per pound, and depending on the price difference, you're going to choose the non-organic produce because it's going to be cheaper. It's going to have less of a dent on a little bit of money that you've set aside for your budget. Being able to take those Pilates classes, the yoga classes, all of those things are going to take extra money. And so my point is there's a ripple effect. Okay. Um, when you focus on creating ease and stability around your finances, the ripple effects are going to impact your family and your community. You're going to feel it immediately. Okay. You're going to have less stress, less anxiety. You're going to feel more confident financially. But you'll also be able to help your family members. Maybe financially that'll be the case. Maybe someone will need help, and financially you'll be able to help them. Or how about just being able to have a better relationship with your family because you're no longer irritable and cranky, and because you didn't get enough sleep and you're going back and forth to a shitty job that you hate. Having a better relationship with your family so that you're not snipping and sniping at them when they ask you a simple question. How about the impact that you'll have on your community, locally and globally? Maybe locally there's a no-kill shelter that you want to donate to financially, or maybe you want to donate your time. Think about the impact that will have in your community. Think about globally the impact that you can have. Maybe you want to help financially people that have been impacted by all the crazy natural disasters. Being able to donate a few $100s and how great that would feel. Maybe, helping communities on the other side of the world that don't have access to clean water. And so you, again, creating and focusing on creating ease and stability around your finances, there will be a ripple effect. So I want you to start asking yourself a few questions. And you can add those answers to the PDF that is provided with this video on the same page as this video. Question number 1. What is your definition of financial stability? And paint a very clear picture. Um, Instead of just saying, oh, financial stability means paying my bills on time. And that's great. Dig a little deeper. What does paying your bills on time mean for you? How does that feel? How would it feel? Really sit with how would it feel to pay your bills on time every single month? How would it feel knowing that you could go into Target, my personal favorite store? You can go into Target and not have to hold your breath, after you've swiped your card or you've inserted your card into the little credit card reader. And in your mind, you're thinking, oh my God, I hope this charge goes through. Please, please, please don't decline. Don't decline. Think about really painting a very clear picture. Because I know for me, that just feels like, oh, like a sigh of relief. Knowing I don't have to worry about that when I go to Target. I don't have to worry about that when I go to the grocery store. No concern about that whatsoever. Paint a very clear picture as you answer that question. Question number 2. How does that picture differ from your life right now? And really be honest. And I know it may be difficult to just sit in where you are right now because it looks drastically different from where you want to be. But once you create a very clear picture of where you are right now in your life, you have an understanding of, okay, I know how it feels, I know what it looks like. You may even know what it tastes like. What does the other side of that, how would that feel? You can even go back to question number 1 and just add more detail after that. And question number 3, looking at the difference between your current life and your ideal life of financial stability, when you look at those 2 pictures, um, side by side, how does that make you feel? What thoughts go through your mind looking at these 2 very different pictures? And so once you've done answering those questions, take a few deep cleansing breaths and really just slowly inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose even slower. Do that several times to really help calm down your nervous system. Because I know when I was answering these questions for myself several years ago, I felt triggered. I felt angry. It even brought me to tears at one point because I was fearful. I knew that I wanted it. I wanted that ease and that stability, but I didn't know how to get there. Maybe this will trigger an, an anxious feeling in you. Maybe you may even wake up in the middle of the night, like thinking, oh man, how can there be such a wide chasm between where I am right now and where I want to be? So if you are feeling a little unsettled right now, again, just take several deep breaths in through your nose and out through your nose very slowly. And just relax. Really feel your body relax. Be gentle with yourself as you go through um, thinking about the answers that you gave. Just be gentle with yourself, no judgment. And if you need to, continue to sit quietly, taking cleansing breaths. Once you reach a point where you really feel centered, and depending on the weather and your location, stand outside for a few more deep breaths and really be in the present moment. Spend time noticing the air on your cheeks. Maybe it's snowing, so you can feel, the snowflakes on your forehead. Maybe it's raining a little bit. It's a little drizzly, a little sprinkly outside, but you can handle it. You're standing out there and you can feel the raindrops on your hands. Take some deep cleansing breaths again and just remind yourself that you're safe and all is well. And honestly, repeat that to yourself over and over again while you're breathing. I am safe and all is well. I am safe and all is well. And just allow yourself to get centered. So I know that this may have been a bit, again, triggering or a bit heavy for you, a little unsettling maybe, but I really appreciate you joining me for the first video in this series. I will be back in your mailbox again tomorrow, and we're going to dig a little deeper to really try to uncover what are the blocks in the programming that's preventing you from achieving this goal that you dream of, achieving this life of financial stability that you outlined in question number 1. So again, I'll see you tomorrow, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day.